Good morning, everyone. Friday, last one of the week. Thank Christ, we've made it through another week. And geez, what a week it's been. But let me start by saying Bore da to our Welsh viewers this morning. An absolute great congratulations on your 27% swing from Labour to Plaid Cymru to win the Caerphilly by-election. So very well done to the people of Caerphilly. And of course, Nigel Farage took a bloody nose, although I have to say they did come second in front of Labour, who took a real tanking, as I say, a 27% swing to Plaid. So well done, and keep up the good work done there in Wales. Keeps the pressure on. Westminster, pincer movement, let's take them for both sides, wipe it off the face of the map. Sounds like a plan. So Wales, get the troops ready. We're going to battle next year, May. We're taking them on. Let's do this. Okie dokie. Let's get started. Let's get this underway, shall we? Andy Davey out the truck and at home in his office in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire, where it's a misty morning. Quite chilly as well at 6 degrees. 7 now, right enough. Humidity's at 93%. Wind speed 7 to 15 kilometres an hour or 49 miles per hour in the old money. And the pollen counts, no nothing to worry about. So that's how the weather is here in Salisbury, North Lanarkshire. If you want to know the weather's like where you are, you've got your own bloody windy look at it. Right. Let's get started this morning, shall we? First up this morning is the Looney Rag, the Express. What's the knuckle draggers paper got for us this morning? And it would appear we're on a television story. We Are Strictly Done Dancing. I take it these two must have something to do with the TV programme Strictly Done Dancing. Anyway, it says, and the drama continues on Celebrity Traitor with 3 more faithfuls leaving. I have no idea what any of that fucking means. None. And to be fair, I'm not really interested. But apparently whoever these 2 women are, they're leaving Strictly. There you have it. You're rid of the Looney Rag Express. Next up, we've got the Scum. And we don't put the Scum up. And it's got Scandal Hit Strictly. And Crisis. Tess and Claude. Secret plot to quit. Vowed to go a year ago. And BBC blindsided after 12 years. Still haven't got a fucking Scooby what it was about. And I don't even have an inclination to look, folks. Sorry. If you want to know about this celebrity story, you need to go fucking look it up yourself. Because I just can't be arsed with it. And then, of course, we'll get the Rancid next. And let's get Strictly Stars made vow to leave show together. Sister Pack. Didn't know it were fucking sisters to me. Oh well. Right, that's enough of that nonsense, or is it? Next up, we've got the Metro. And what's the Metro got? Quitter Ball. Same story. It's the last dance for Strictly as duo walls off. And this Claudia and Tess, whoever they are, still don't look like sisters to me. Apparently they're quitting the BBC a dance show, Strictly Come Dancing. There you go. Who cares? Next up, we've got the Eye. And what does the Eye tell us? Reeves in talks on 1 pence income tax rise, risking Labour's manifesto pledge to fill 30 billion black hole, or 30 billion hole. Now, folks, I'm not interested in this fucking story either. Sorry, doesn't apply to Scotland. We've got a separate income tax system altogether. Doesn't apply to us. That's just England, Wales and Northern Ireland story. Nothing to do with us. We've got our own tax system, thanks very much. And for any viewers in England that didn't realise that, we have our own tax system, where we have 6 tax bands as opposed to the 3 that you have down that road. So the income tax stories and the television stories that are coming up today, I'm no fucking interested. There are no Scotland stories. Why they're in the Scottish papers, I don't fucking know. Well, I do actually. It's in a move to confuse the people of Scotland. In this case, it's the sort of move that we just turn us all off. We all know that we've got a separate tax system, so we know it's a story that doesn't matter to us. Unreal. Right, so that was the eye, was it? Next up, we'll get the Guardian, I believe. The Guardian. What's the Guardian go for us this morning? Another England, Wales and Northern Ireland only story. Reeves discuss an increase to income tax in November's budget. Nothing to do with us here in Scotland, folks. Not a bloody thing. We'll find out what's happening with our income tax rates when we get the Scottish budget in January. But once again, Scottish papers full of nonsense. It's nothing to do with Scotland. Or should we just say English papers sold in Scotland couldn't be asked to make an effort to find a Scottish story. All right, after the Guardian we have the Tory graph. What's the Tory graph growth for today? Stop the show trials for veterans. And this tells us that a 70-year-old soldier named Soldier P has been cleared of murder and the Bloody Sunday trials. Now, I'll express a wee bit more of my opinion on that when the next one comes up. After elderly ex-para hounded over Bloody Sunday killings more than 50 years ago is cleared of all charges, campaigners demand now end the witch hunt. Now, folks, the history of the Troubles in Northern Ireland are pretty fucking grubby. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but it was actually the British state that set the Catholic and Protestant communities against each other. Bloody Sunday was one of the catalysts of it. It had to do with a civil rights movement where the Catholics and Protestants had put their differences aside to fight about their fucking living standards. And that could not be done. That could not be had. So the British establishment created the fucking Troubles. But should these trials end? Well, let me turn this headline on its head. Now, end the witch hunt. Let's put it this way. No justice for the victims of Bloody Sunday is what that should read. That's what it should read. Now, whether the person who was on trial was actually guilty of anything at that time, I don't know, wasn't he there? If he's been cleared, then obviously not. But that doesn't mean these trials should end. Bloody Sunday and the British state were guilty as hell of starting the Troubles. And there should be not just the soldiers who actually fired the shots getting pulled to task. It should be the whole fucking system. And if the Minister for Defence is still alive, who was around at that time, fucking haul him into court and all. Because one thing's for sure, that long ago it certainly would have been a woman. But as I say, if you turn that on its head, witch hunt against soldiers, what about no justice for the victims when you flip it on its fucking head? Because that's what that headline read. That headline read, no justice for victims. No end of witch hunt. Next up, we'll get the National. What's the National vote for us today? Thanks, Stephen. I'll put that up in a wee second, mate. Every little helps. And hoping for a wee Friday rant. Oh, I don't know. Don't know, Stephen. We'll see if we get anything there that annoys me that much. After all, I'm pretty well pumped for Wales and the Welsh people. They're starting to turn their back on the British establishment and their goons, the Labour Party. So I'm pretty stoked. But anyway, Labour giving pocket change to Scotland. And this is a fisheries story, folks. David and I covered it yesterday. And this is going to do this £360 million fund, which is pocket change anyway, and 300 million going to England when 50% of the catch and processing goes on here in Scotland. But, and then down here we've got, let SNP act on Andrew if Labour won't, says Stephen Flynn. Get your head back in the jail, Stephen. Stop messing about with this royal nonsense. And support for indie parties up in poll. Well, I went and had a wee look at the latest polling, and I pulled it up, so I'll share it with you. Stop sharing that first. And what is the latest polling? Interesting that, it says 22nd of September, 25th of September is the latest polls that are here, and that is the SNP in 34, so that's way out of date. So I haven't had time to nip over to James Kelly at Pop Goes Scott this morning to find out what the latest polling situation is, but I will right after this programme, although I do have a busy day in front of me. I'll go and buy a new wheel and tyre and book my car in for a new exhaust, so, but I'll still have time to nip over to James Kelly's site and see what the latest polling is. But apparently indie parties is up, so that would be the SNP and the Greens, because Alpa are no polling. They haven't polled at all for how long? Let's have another wee look. Alpa didn't they poll in September? 2% in September. 1% September. Didn't they poll in August? Didn't they poll in June? And at no point have they polled high enough to win a seat. So just a wasted vote. Just a wasted vote. Right. So that's what the Nationals go for today. Next up we've got the Herald. And the Herald's on another contrived story, folks. Another contrived story to make the SNP look bad. Simple as that. So let's put the Herald up. The Herald's got backlash at claims over city's safe drug facility. And this is going to do with the Health Minister Neil Gray being called before the Commons Select Committee to give evidence on the safe consumption room in the Calton. Apparently the report prepared for him by the civil service wasn't very complimentary to the people of Calton, and he's been asked to apologise for it. Now, in the report, it described the place as the Wild West, and concerned citizens were worried about needles and antisocial behaviour. Newsflash, people. The Calton was full of antisocial behaviour and fucking needles before the centre was there. But to be fair to the people of the city of Glasgow, it would have made much more sense for this safe consumption room to be in a hospital or a facility next door to a hospital in case there was a need. Sticking it in the middle of a housing estate was not a good idea, even though the Calton has its problems when it comes to drugs and alcohol. But Neil Gray's been asked to apologise for the report which was prepared by civil services for him to take to that committee. Well, guess what, Neil? Suck it up, bud. You're going to have to apologise to people of Calton for the way that the civil service has described them. Simple as that. But another non-story. Another non-story where something that's got very little to do with a minister has a minister having to open his gob and say he's sorry. But as the attack line, the Herald went down, David and I are gone down. David and I spoke about this yesterday. The Herald and the other Britain Art papers will spend the next however many months it is to the election. What is it? May, 5 months into next year. We've got a couple of months left. 7 months to the election. This paper's going to go out to smear the government and to sow mistrust in the government and the heads of the people of Scotland. Unfortunately for that paper, it doesn't have the fucking reach anymore to be able to do that. None of them do. Most people are going online and to alternative news services to get their news. And that includes this programme. Right, down with the Herald. And next up after the Herald we have... Well, that's not right. Should be the Times. Next up we've got the Times. Right, the Times has grooming inquiry may be off until next year. Don't care. Once again, we're in a position where we've got a paper that says the Times Scotland, and it's got an England and Wales only story on its front fucking page. Lazy journalism. They should take the word Scotland off the title. We're not having a grooming gang inquiry here in Scotland. We were the grooming gang unit in Boys Scotland since the carry on with the poor people of the islands going way back before the turn of the fucking century. Unbelievable. So once again, folks, here we are in Scotland with papers with the word Scotland in the title, covering England only stories. And we get that regular here. Right, down with the Times. I think it's a Scotsman after the Times. Aye, Scotsman. And what's the Scotsman got for us today? 40 million lifeline to save new concert hall. Cost of a Dunard Castle or Dunard Centre triples to 162 million before work begins. Well, the answer to that's quite simple. Find a cheaper contractor or scrap the fucking plan until prices come down, which is going to be never. Aye, folks, don't forget Friday Frolics, 5 o'clock, Daily Blasé's channel. Normally a good laugh, always a good laugh. I never get to watch it myself, I just get to listen to it because I'm at work, but it's always fun. It's a brilliant fun, actually. Wouldn't miss it. Right, so the Scotsman tells us that this new concert hall that they want to build has tripled in cost since planning. So just don't build it. Or find a cheaper contractor. We just don't build it. If costs are spiralling out of hand before you put a shovel on the ground, answer, don't put a shovel on the ground. It's not that complicated. Right, doing with that. Now, folks, what was all that nonsense in the papers about television programmes got today with the day? What are they covering up? That's a good point there, Kirsty. But I dare say that the headlines will be prominent in Wales. Remember, we've all got different, supposedly we're different medias. But what is it that all this nonsense in the papers about celebrity quitting TV programmes about today? It's about covering up this. British troops deployed to Israel to monitor Gaza ceasefire after US request. I remember the last time the US made such a request. The question is, which of the countries in that region does the US want to change the regime of now? Because that's what happened the fucking last time. Late 1990. Weapons of mass destruction. Lie after lie. And then straight in. Operation Desert Spear. The race to Baghdad. I remember it quite clearly. So the question's going to be is, which state regime is it the Americans intend to drag us into changing? One thing's for sure, it's definitely not going to be fucking Israel. But I've seen this before, folks. 1990, 1991. I know what happens now. like a light bulb moment when you see the same things happen again. So, anyway, the excuse is they're going in there to monitor and to assist with the ceasefire. The Americans, the Egyptians, Qataris, the UK apparently are all going to something called Civilian Central Command Centre. Civilian Military Central Command Centre, believe it or not, CMCC. And there's also a call going out for an international peacekeeping force to go into Gaza. And they oppose any infractions or any to police the ceasefire and to stop the Israelis from getting out of line at the people of Palestine. But I don't like this, folks. The last time the Americans asked us to go to the Middle East to assist them in humanitarian circumstances with the first Iraq war. And that was under the same pretense, put boots on the ground to aid humanitarian causes. And then before you know it, boots on the ground to help humanitarian causes is intervention in the name of humanity. But the question is, which state has the regime to be changed in this time? Can I see it being Jordan? Definitely not going to be Qatar, they're part of it. It's not going to be Egypt. I guess Syria's getting a tanking. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will tell. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Have we had the star up yet? No. Let's get the star up. So he tipped to be new host, Sixthly Ballroom, Claudia and Tess Quit Show. That would have been the Star's headline anyway. But the Looney Rag, the Express, the Rancid, the Sun, the Metro, all try to avoid the story of the fact that the UK are putting troops on the ground in the Middle East again. As I say, let's hope it doesn't lead to further incursions into other states in the region. But I would say probably will lead to another state having its regime toppled on behalf of the Israelis by their American fucking Hoffwit masters, supposedly. But it's looking more and more like actually the UK and the US are Israelis' pups. They're Israeli lapdogs. We know for sure that Westminster is definitely an Israeli lapdog. But that's what that nonsense in the press is all about today, hiding the fact that UK troops are about to put the boots on the ground in the Middle East again. We'll see where it goes. Okay, and right after this programme, folks, Young Reagan, a week will be on. The British establishment only found the para innocent as if he was found guilty. This would have led the way. This would have led the way. The British establishment only found the para innocent as if he was found guilty. This would have led way to the British government to be held to account for the troubles the politicians SIBRUC. Aye, you're right, Gerald. You're right. So yeah. Let's see. Anyway, for all you people who like TV and Sickly Come Dancing, very sorry. And to my friends in Wales, congratulations, keep up the good work. Let's keep the pressure on that fucking shithole at number 10. And the houses of thieves and carpetbaggers, as I like to call them. Who's the Prime Minister in the Virginia Giuffre book? I don't know. Enlighten us, please, class action, before I tiptoe out the door to go and buy a new wheel and tyre. Who's the Prime Minister? Yeah, well, probably, was it Tony Blair? I don't know. Okay, folks, that's it today, because it appears like class action is not going to answer the question. Oh, talking about in Israel at the time. But anyway, as I say, that's it for the weekend. Oh, the Israeli PM. I think Millie might have it right. I think Millie might have it right. I thought you were talking about UK PMs. It was Blair, was it? Why doesn't that surprise me? Anyway, folks, Starmer's turning out to be a fucking nightmare for a humanitarian lawyer standing up for human rights. He's rapidly became Tony Blair Mark II, war criminal, and he's putting boots on the ground. So where are we off to next in our next misadventure in the Middle East? Unbelievable. Right, thanks for watching in such great numbers again, as usual, folks. Thanks very much for your kind contributions to the Food Bank Fund. It's nearly time to get it out. We're in inertia this time round. So, if you know of a food bank who could do with your assistance in inertia, you can always hit me up in a PM or a DM. But otherwise, I'll get myself busy after the 26th, meaning Monday, finding the food banks that we're going to give assistance to this month. Okay. Right, you guys. See you Monday, 10:30. Don't be late. And in the afternoon, we have the Two Davies current affairs and politics chat show. Okay. Please hit the like button on the way out, as always indicated there. It helps the algorithm. And you've got Reagan Elite going live right after me. Unfortunately, Reagan Elite, I'll need to listen to you this morning as usual because I've got things to do. But I'll have you plugged in with my earpods and have you playing on my phone, but I won't be commenting. Look after yourselves over the weekend. Look after each other over the weekend. And we'll see you on Monday. Eyes on the prize, and the prize is an SNP majority in 2026. That ain't going to be easy. But if the people want it, then they'll